Today is all about a very, very special announcement. The Writers' Corner Live show has been introducing readers to authors from around the globe since July 2018. The show is broadcast live and is interactive, so readers are able to engage with the authors that we have on the show. Our weekly show is 30 minutes long, and it's a Q&A format that makes it feel more like you've dropped in on a private conversation with the author, and you get to know details about them and their books that you ordinarily would not have known about. But today, we're making a very, very special announcement. So don't go away. We will be right back. If you're just joining us, a very warm welcome to this special edition of the Writers' Corner live show. I'm your host, Brenda Edelman from Cape Town in South Africa, and our stream today is made possible by Creative Edge, StreamYard, and BeLive Media. So a special warm welcome. If you are joining us, I want to give a shout to Serene, who's already saying hello to us over on Amazon Live. So whether you're watching us on Amazon Live, on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, or on YouTube, a warm, big welcome to you. The show is interactive. We're going to be making a very special announcement today, so don't go away. We will be right with that announcement. So hang around with us. On the show, we're all about introducing authors and days because everything or most things are still online. We also want to help you to level up when you are talking about your books online, because that's the way that book releases are done these days. And so some of the things that you can do to help improve your online presence is by using a great camera. I'm using the Logitech Brio, and I know that my co-host, Mary Elizabeth Jackson, also uses the Logitech Brio. And the nice thing about that is it uses trademarked technology, which means irrespective of your lighting conditions, you're going to get a great effect. So I definitely recommend that. So if you're over on Amazon, you will see that that is over on the carousel. Another important thing, if you are an author and you're talking to your audience, you want to make sure that they can hear you clearly, because people will forgive slightly bad image, but if they can't hear well, they will tune out. So what I use is the Samsung microphone. This is a USB condenser microphone with a solid die-cast construction, and that reduces unnecessary noise. But not everybody wants to use a big microphone, and you don't. So the other thing to invest in is one of these Rode lapel microphones that I've got here. They do the job just as well. And if you must, use the earphones, but start somewhere by leveling up on your live streaming gear. The other thing that I recommend is if you're wanting to demonstrate and talk about your book, you don't want to make people seasick, so do use something like a stabilizer. The DJ Osmo is a good one that you can use, or you can use an iographer. But use something to stabilize your phone, because you don't need fancy equipment to go live. You can do that from your phone, but use something to stabilize it. Before we introduce our amazing guests today, who's going to be Mickelson of Creative Edge, who's collaborating with us, and also the amazing Miranda O and Jenna Green, and they'll tell us about their show. But I first want to bring on my amazing guest, my amazing co-host and friend, Mary Elizabeth Jackson. She's a special needs and disabilities advocate. She's a ghostwriter and also an award-winning author. And Mary's latest with Thornton Klein is Cheers from Heaven. So with that, Mary, hello. Welcome to the show.
I have been a guest before, haven't I? I've been a guest. We've done one-on-ones with each other, haven't we?
Yes,
But today I'm not a guest. I know. Today we are co-hosting our show as we do every Tuesday, and we are so excited just about the progression and how we're going to grow and who we're collaborating with. We're so excited, and we wanted to, make a formal announcement about it and celebrate.
I'm dying to make the
So,
announcement, but I think before we make the announcement, um,
mhm,
could you maybe just run through some of the great authors that we've had on the show? Because we've come a long way since 2018, and we've had some
mhm.
phenomenal authors. And I do just want to mention that Creative Edge have had something to do with some of these fabulous authors that we've had on the show. So do you want to just run through some of the great authors we've had?
Yes, because we really have over the last 3.5 years, and we've been blessed and privileged to interview everything from debut authors to award winner, multi-award winner, national bestsellers, international bestsellers, New York Times. We've just had such a wide variety, and I think it's been so great because we've enjoyed every interview that we've had and getting to know their backstory, what inspires them, motivates them, even what their writing style is. I mean, usually we have time for that question to find out, what really is your writing style? Because everybody's is different. But it's nice because one of our goals is to share this with our audience. Newbie writers, you want to be a writer, you've been a writer, you want to get published, you're not sure, what even the avenue that you want to take. So we've tried to kind of pull those out of our author interviews and let them share their tips and tricks and gold nuggets with our audience. But we have made a list. Now we obviously don't have time to put everybody down, but one of our debut authors was Xavier Thomas, and actually he's a poet. And where you're never sure with a debut author who's never even done an interview before how it will go. And he was so amazing and so inspiring, and he wants to be a motivational speaker, and his poetry has won awards, and I think he's on to his next book now. But he was really it was really nice for a debut author to be able to I don't know, express himself the way he did and share his life and his journey with us the way he did. We've also
We did.
had yes, Robert J. Sawyer, who everyone who knows him loves him, I believe, and I'm a fan also because I grew up in the time period of Battlestar Galactica. So, he that was his baby. I do want to tell everyone he is the Hugo Nebula Award winning author of Quantum, and he is the only person. He's the only person to receive the Knight of the Order of Canada. So that's a pretty big deal. And
Big deal. Yeah.
yeah, it's a very big deal. And his writing, he takes a long time to write. He's not, somebody who pumps out a bunch of pages every day. He really does have this whole process that he does. So it's really, somebody who's had that kind of fame and been so successful. I love hearing, what makes them tick and how is their process. What do they do? So Bonnie Mcbird is, we love Bonnie, and she is a Sherlock Holmes writer, and she lives in London. She's been a screenwriter for a long time. And one of my favorite things about her is that she was one of the original writers on the original Tron movie in the 70s, which my girls love this movie. So it's kind of fun to meet these people. So we had Stuart Pierce on, and he was the confidence and vocal coach to Diana, Princess Diana. So it was really a pleasure to have that interview with him and hear him talk about his last time with Diana and share that with us. It was very special. We had the amazing Chris Humphreys on. We just love him. And we've had Hank Philippi Ryan on, who is just a dynamo. And Gary Krebs, he is a literary agent, but he's also an author, and his book's being turned into a movie. Jenna Fattori, she has a super great book out there. You have to look her up, but she is a writer living the writer life in California and LA. And she wrote on the ending seasons of Gilmore Girls. So that's another favorite of mine and our family. Rob Platkus, I think I said his name right, but he's fascinating because he has a brain injury, right? And he's an author. And so he shared that whole experience with us, which was just fascinating. So we just, all these different dynamics of people have just enriched our lives, and hopefully the lives of people who've watched them, and they, it's allowed people to become fans. Yeah. So we've had Kristen Miracle on. Kristen Miracle. She's amazing. And she's in a book with Brenda and I, but her life story is just amazing. Yes, what she has been through. Thornton Klein, he's one of our favorites, one of my co-writers and friends. He's one of our friends. He'll be on Tuesday with us. He has had, listen to this, from January of last year to now, he's had 6 #1 hit songs he has written, either by himself or co-written with the artist on the Euro World Indie Chart radio. So, I mean, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I just think that's amazing. Terry Shepard we've had on, which he has done the voice of the book you and I've been in, Invisible, No More, Invincible, Forevermore. He's got a great voice. Linda Sunshine, we love Linda. She is like this, well, she's fearless, and that's what she does in her life. And she's trying to get 50,000 people published before she passes on. That's her goal, right? So that's a very big thing to fill. We've had Tommy Swerdlow on, and Tommy wrote, he was part of Cool Runnings and the latest Grinch, which I think that's one of my favorite Grinch movies. Darshan McAway, we love Darshan, and he's one of those guys who's a multiple entrepreneur. Brenda Edelman, she lives in New York. She tells the story of, it's so amazing. Some of these stories, her father killed her mother, then he married the sister, and she had to put her dad in jail. And she has used that in her life to fuel herself forward to help other people tell their story. And she's just absolutely amazing. And we've also had our New York Times, one of our favorites, Tosca Lee, on. So, that's just a couple of people, 17, 18. And we've had 3.5 years of many, many, many authors that we wish we could name everybody. We've had both ladies on, I think, that are coming on here in just a minute. But we're just so grateful for it. And we can't wait for what the future holds for our show and the authors we have coming up this year. I'm excited.
Absolutely. And now, after just that brief summary of some of the phenomenal authors we've had on the show, drum roll, people, we're making the announcement.
I like the music.
I do too. So the Writers' Corner live show is excited to announce that, in collaboration with Creative Edge Publicity, we are launching the Writers' Corner Network. After 3.5 years of sharing amazing author journeys, this, we feel, is a natural progression towards expanding the array of authors that we've had on the show, and sharing those with our audience and just adding more author shows. It's a way for you, our audience, to get to know about more books and behind the scenes glimpses of a variety of authors. And we're opening up opportunities for more author shows to join our network.
I'm so excited. I know I don't have a horn. I should have brought an instrument up here. I could have played the drums or something for us. We're super excited.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now we're going to bring on the very first show that's going to join us. But I think before we bring them on, let's just introduce Stephen Healy on Amazon is saying congratulations to
hi,
us.
Stephen. Wonderful. Hi,
Shout out to you, Stephen. I think let's just bring on Mickelson of Creative Edge on very quickly before we bring on the other two ladies. And Mickey's going to tell us a little bit more about what he does. But the way I always explain to people why you need a publicist in your corner is, if you don't have a publicist, it's like walking in the courtroom without a lawyer. So
Oh,
much better walk
nice.
into a courtroom and say, talk to my attorney, or if you walk into a bookstore and you say, hey, talk to my publicist, then you
That's right.
sound really jacked up. So
So-
let's invite Mickey Mickelson to the show. Mickey, welcome.
Hi,
Mickey,
ladies.
you need a t-shirt. That
I
says,
have a T-shirt. I'm wearing one.
no, but I mean, it says, whatever Virginie just said, having a publicist is like having a lawyer in the courtroom. I don't know.
I should have a tie on right now, actually, because of that. That's just how it goes, right?
Oh,
So,
yeah. Thank you, Darshan. We mentioned you earlier. Yeah, Mickey,
thanks,
we're so
Kristen.
excited to have you
Yes,
here, and we're doing this together. We're so excited. And Mickey and I we've met, well, it's been a year and a half ago that we met.
more than that, I think. But yeah,
Yeah, probably close
we'll
to
go with that. We'll go with that, Mary.
yeah, close to 2 years, I think. Yeah, but Mickey is so awesome, and he's a great publicist. Okay, I'm going to brag about you for just a minute, if that's okay. He's a great publicist. He represents over 80 authors, and I think just let me know if I said this correctly. You're moving into representing people outside the realm of being an author sometimes, correct?
We've already started that. I represent a couple of actors who have books out. Ace Antonio Hall, who's a mainstream actor, and Jennifer Lieberman, who's also an actress. And I also represent Jakeem Joyner, who's a top Billboard saxophonist, who's also an international best-selling author. And beyond that, we also represent 3 publishers on top of our client team. So it's been growing exponentially the last 5 years.
That's right. Yes. Yes. And my publisher you're a publicist for my publisher. So
I am.
we love Tuscany Bay Books. They're
Tuscany Bay
amazing.
Books.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a publisher, reach out, check them out. Look, if you're looking for a
They're
publicist,
amazing.
Creative Edge Publicity online, and you'll know that it's Mickey because there's the puzzle piece, the blue puzzle piece.
Yes, which my daughter created because she's autistic, and we wanted to really be advocates for the autism world with our company. So I'm just really happy to be here and so excited about this collaboration and this network. And I know when you bring Jen and Miranda on to talk about their show, I mean, launching that first show, I can't imagine 2 other people that I would so want to represent the Creative Edge clients and other author teams and be just part of this. It's just really, really exciting, and just happy to be a big part of this. So, yeah.
We can't wait. We got lots of fun to have.
So, Brigetta, you want me to say a little bit about what I do? So I'll just get into that really quickly, and then
Please,
if that's okay.
If you can just give us a brief sort of synopsis of what Creative Edge does for clients, because we've interviewed some of the authors, and I must say they've just given Creative Edge star reviews.
I pay them to do that. You know that, right? I pay them to do
and I must say that what struck me is that it was completely unsolicited. They actually said to me, "Can we just say something about Mickey?" Which to me just blew my mind and was phenomenal because they were, genuinely authentic reviews of what you've done for them. So tell us a little bit about Creative Edge.
Yeah, so we started, I'm not going to go into a full-on biography, but I will just say our key start was in 2016, and actually it was Miranda O who started. She was our first client with her book. So we essentially we arrange for interviews on all formats: podcasts, print medium, television media, radio medium, magazine medium, all those things. Not just on a local scale, but an international aspect, an international basis. And we have as Mary said, we have over 80 clients worldwide. We recognize and reference indie published authors, as well as traditionally published authors. We have a couple of New York Times bestsellers that we represent, one of them being Tosca Lee and Hank Philippine Ryan, actually. We represent 6 USA Today bestsellers, 3 publishers and growing, and virtually every genre, including nonfiction business. So it's been a journey the last 5 years, but a very successful one, and one that with this collaboration today, we're even looking to grow more. So very, very excited.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. So, Mickey, thank you for joining us. I think we're going to invite Jenna and Miranda. So it's a big pleasure.
Okay, so we need to bring the girls on. Bring on the girls. It sounds like we're having a show. We're going to bring the girls on, like a dancing show.
Yes, absolutely. Would you like to introduce them?
Yes. So Jenna Green is a young adult and children's author known for her Reborn Mark series and her Imagine series. Go children's authors. When she isn't writing or teaching, she enjoys dance, crafts, and dragon boating. Okay, I have to ask her about that because I'm not sure I've heard of that, but I want to know about it because my daughter draws dragons all the time. Miranda O is a podcast host and Amazon bestselling author. She is a Canadian author. Both of these ladies live in Canada, so they're up there in the frozen tundra. She is a speaker and a new mom, precious baby. Inspiring and empowering women who are going through tough life situations is something that she is most passionate about. She takes on the tough questions, taboo topics, and uncomfortable conversations and finds light, shares the love, and highlights the twisted humor. Okay, I had to read that word for word because it is very appropriate. So, ladies, we're so excited to do this together. And, we started this journey a couple months ago and, here we are, right? It's like, we're here.
We did it.
I know. Mickey, we were talking about that last night, how we said we're going to do it. And here we are. We're doing it. So we're very excited about it.
It's like
it's wonderful to have you
line and then starting a whole new race again.
Oh, yeah, right, exactly. And we don't want to forget, too, the name of your show will be Jot Notes. It is Jot Notes, excuse me. Yeah. And then let everybody know when your show will air.
We air on Thursday evenings between 6 and 7 p.m. Central. So we're going to try to get out there weekly. Life happens, and we're so excited to join the network and join these fabulous ladies. Jenna and I have been doing this for a few years already, so this is just a step in the right direction for us.
Absolutely. We're so excited. And Jenna, okay, before we go on, I have to, what is what dragon boat? What is that?
So that is a boat with 20 paddlers, a steers person, and a drummer. And you usually race about 500 meters, although you can do 200-meter sprints or 1,000-meter, 2,000-meter races. But it's a sport. Who would have thought I do a sport? But you race, and it's one of the purest forms of teamwork in the world. In that, if your paddlers aren't in sync, you don't go anywhere.
Right. Wow. Hey, what a life lesson! What a life lesson, Jenna. You need to write a book about that.
Okay.
Yes. Philosophy behind dragon boat racing.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
Philosophy success in life.
Right. There you go. I think that is a great book. I will read it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about Jot Notes. What are the kind of authors that you interview? How did you come up with the name Jot Notes, by the way?
We had a few that we brainstormed, but that one really caught us. I personally am a fan of the Post-its everywhere in my life, like 30 down my door before I leave, and they're all over the house. And maybe that's someone else's style of writing, is to just leave Post-it notes everywhere, or even just the fact that Miranda and I are both moms, and sometimes you only have a moment to write and get just a jot part down. And so it just kind of led to this idea of exploring how others write, where they write, when they write, how they write, and it just kind of went from there. And it's catchy, and everyone knows what a jot note is, but it might be interpreted differently by different people.
You said that right. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, that's awesome because it is true as a mom. Well, let's take this back because if you're not a mom, but maybe you're working full time and you still want to write, you may only have like lunch break or in between a meeting and you need to write it down. I always have a notebook on me. If I don't have a notebook, I use my notes or my voice recorder on my phone because you never know where inspiration is going to come from or a book idea. Like we're just talking right now, the dragon boat. I mean, I think that philosophy is fantastic. And some of the best philosophy in life is so basic. You're like, why didn't I think of that? Or duh, and it's the best philosophy there is because it is, like you said, it's very pure and it's old school. It's been around forever. It works. It can't go left or right or anything. It just is what it is.
Yep, totally.
Yeah. So what kind of authors were you guys be looking? And I know Brigetti started to ask this and I was wondering as well, because there are some shows that are strictly focused on, we have some of these mutual friends who are strictly focused on horror or crime or thriller or romance. There's so many author shows out there. So where will your focus be?
I think our focus has always been to dissect the writer itself or themselves, sorry, not it, but themselves as an artist and as a human. So we're not, partial to one genre or one type of artist. We have interviewed in the past musicians and actors and actresses, and somehow we always end up kind of tying it back to writing because writing is a form of art. And no matter the platform or the medium of art that you are creating, there's always a sense of relatability. And Jenna and I have always strived to make our authors relatable to our audience because we want to inspire our audience. If you have a story to put it out there, like no genre are fighting against each other in the market. And even the readers that love only one genre, all those books in the genre are still not fighting for each other. You can read a book in a day or a weekend. That leaves a lot more days and a lot more weekends to pick up another book in the same genre. So we're trying to bring everybody together and build connection, build relationships, make everybody feel a little bit less alone in the world.
Very well said. That was perfect. Yes. I think that it is, I think it's great. You're coming from that perspective. And, if we have different things that we're bringing to the table, it allows the viewers to be able to see different viewpoints and different angles of authors and to find new books to love and new authors to love. And I don't know about you guys, but Brigetti and I have just met some of the most interesting people and learning about their background and their, what makes them tick. And some of the people we've interviewed, I'm sure like you guys, maybe they had a career for 30 years and decided, I want to try writing, or they kind of fell into it and they never even thought they were going to do it, or they've been doing it since they were, how many times have we interviewed somebody, Brigetti, who's like, well, I wrote my first novel at 5, and we're like, what? I mean, and that's happened. So, I think it's so fascinating to, and it's so funny. They've been doing it for so long. They kind of probably think their story is boring, because they're living through it. And it's like, it doesn't excite them, but it excites me or you, and I'm like, oh, I'm a new fan of yours,
What makes our show unique is that while Miranda and I are both authors and we have a lot of the same values in life, family and friends and honesty, we don't write the same at all. We don't write the same genres. We don't write for the same age group. We don't have the same writing style. Like I write in really short sprints and she more likes to settle in. And so we can't say that there's one way to write and we can't say there's one genre and we can't say there's one age group because we cover it all. And then that really opens us up to welcoming all sorts of authors because we're very much like, okay, well, I don't write like that, but maybe Miranda does, or neither of us do. And now we get to learn something absolutely new. And so it's a great dynamic between us in that we're the same, but different.
the world is the same but different, and we all need to come together, don't we?
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So you guys are representing that, which is really good. We need that right now in the world. And if we could all just play in the sandbox together and share our toys, we would have a totally different experience, wouldn't we?
Oh, we would.
Yeah.
We definitely would. So it gives us opportunities to, like Jenna says, we learn from our guests as much as our audience does, if not more. Like it's the knowledge transfer every single episode, every single time we connect with somebody new, the stuff that they are sharing with us, I find I take into all different aspects of my life. And you're connecting with people that you would have never otherwise connected if it wasn't because of this opportunity. Jenna and I probably wouldn't have ever crossed paths. We've never crossed paths face to face. I've never actually touched her. But we talk, we have the relationship now, and I talk to her more than I speak to some of my family members that live in the same city as I do. So especially with the last 2 years and what we've all gone through globally, building a virtual world like we have has been such an integral part of keeping and maintaining that positive mental balance through some pretty tough times.
You know, that's so funny because you guys mirror us. Bridgetti and I have known each other 6, maybe 7 years, never met, never touched each other. And she lives on a totally different continent than we do. You guys live above me up in Canada, but you know, she's all the way, as Carson says to me, how long does it take to get to Bridgetti's? You know, and I'm like, well, a very long boat ride or a very long plane ride. And, but we have been through, like you guys, we've been through so much together that we feel like family, you know, and care about each other's families and what happens. And, you know, I know just through this time that we've been through recently, you know, there was a lot of praying and a lot of, you know, that support there. And it does mean a lot. And you know, this is the positive side of technology, isn't it, Bridgetti? Just the wonderfulness of it.
Absolutely. You know what you said earlier, Miranda, just speaks to the absolutely amazing power of video. You know, we shouldn't underestimate the power of video. It does make us feel like family. It makes us feel connected in a time in which we can't meet face to face. And so, you know, those of us who's been in the business of live streaming prior to COVID, we've had a little bit of an advantage over other people that had to pivot and learn how to use video. So this has just been amazing. You know, it's more of a natural experience if you've had, you know, for authors, a lot of authors had to learn how to use video during the pandemic to launch their books, to market their books, because it was something completely out of their comfort zone. Because now, you know, you couldn't do book launches in public spaces during the pandemic. And so, you know, the importance of video is just growing and growing, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. Ladies, we're out of time. We've got a roundup. So I think perhaps what we can do before we end the show is maybe just have everyone sort of say a final word about the network, or yourself or your book, just in quick summary. Miranda, can we start with you?
Yeah, for sure. So I have a series out. It's called Chin Up, Tits Out, as you can see here. It's a 3-part series. I'm working on my next part, which is called Love My Lady Bit. So again, empowering females out there that's going through tough stuff. And I am so thrilled to be part of the network and to launch Jot Notes for y'all. I can't wait to share with you, and I can't wait to connect with you. You can see my email. Nope, that way. You can see it. So you can visit me on there, and it links to all of my social medias. So thanks again, and it was really awesome to meet y'all.
Well, someday maybe we'll meet in person, right?
All I can think now is I should have put my website or something on there. But yeah, a YA fantasy and children's author, lots of titles out there and more coming. And then I'm starting to explore into different things that I haven't tried before. And we can talk more about those adventures that we go through as writers, as readers, more on the show. But so excited to be back out there and talking to authors and learning so much about them and from them. So thank you for this opportunity.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to the journey, and we're looking forward to inviting more shows onto the network in future. And I think we're just delighted to have Jenna, Miranda, both of you, and Jot Notes to join us as the first show.
We are very, very excited about the adventure of this and the collaboration and doing this together as women. And we have our Mickey. He's our Mickey, right? So we're doing this together and trying to empower others and bring great material out there and resources, information, new books, new authors to love, new books to find, and support for those who would like to do and be in the writing world, So we hope we can inspire those folks.
Absolutely. So thanks, everyone, to those of you who've been watching us live, whether you joined us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and also over on Amazon Live. A huge big shout out to Corinda, to Stephen Healy, to Serena, who's joined us over on Amazon Live. Shout out to you guys. Thank you very much for that. And if you've missed this live, we were announcing the Writers Corner Network. It's a new network for author shows. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and do go and have a look on YouTube for the Writers Corner Network. Take care, stay safe, and stay well.